So it's Christmas time, one of the busiest times I think we face. And the amount of coaches that say to me, I just don't have time to do it all. How do I do it all? So here's my question back to you, which is, what's the very worst that will happen if you don't actually do everything on the to-do list? Because sometimes I think if we get comfortable with the worst case scenario and just play it through in your mind, what's the very worst that will happen if you don't do everything? Get comfortable with that idea. And then, it's never as bad as you think. And it's also very liberating. Then you can start to actually just chop things off the to-do list without actually even doing them. Happy Christmas.
Reframing is a great coaching tool that we often use. And that's when we look at something from a different lens. And the lens I like to use during this time of the year is humour. So my question to you is, what difficult situation is happening right now that you can find something amusing in and maybe share with somebody else?
My Christmas tip for you in December this month is to think about what is the minimum that you need to do today, this week, next week. Thinking in terms of kind of a software analogy, what's the minimum viable product? What actually needs to happen? And being quite disciplined about analysing that. I like to think in terms of a 7-3-1 principle as well. In any one particular day or any one particular time period, what are the 7 things that need to happen? What are the 3 things that need to happen? And then what's the 1? So very much in a kind of eat that frog kind of style, is focus on the first thing first, and then maybe the 3, and then get down to the 7. But thinking about.
So my question for you is this: what has gone well for you this year? I want you to take 5 minutes to write down all the amazing things you've done this year, no matter how small you think they are. So that if things get a bit tougher during this festive season, if you get busy, if you get overwhelmed, if you just need a bit of a boost, you can look at that list and remind yourself of just how amazing you are.
I'm SJ, and my question to you is this. During this crazy busy season, what can you subtract to reduce pressure on yourself? So that might be something like buying less presents, so 1 person per present policy, or making a donation to a food bank, or if you have a tiny person, wrapping up a wooden spoon from the kitchen never goes down badly. Or secondly, that could be taking things out of the schedule. So let's take New Year's Eve, for example, often a damp squib of a night and overrated. How about calling it for what it is and just deciding to have an early night to start the new year afresh?
And my question is, how do you want to feel during the festive period and perhaps Christmas Day itself, maybe in reference to particular situations or spending time with people that you find a bit tricky? Because if we can work out how you want to feel, we can then work backwards and think, well, so what does that mean for what I say, do, don't do, as we prepare and when we get to the event or the conversation themselves? I hope you have a great time.